Everyone, and welcome back to Fan Behavior. I am Zoe, back with Hannah.
Hi.
The first official podcast episode of the 2026 season. I know we're back. We were here briefly for the Ford recap, but now we are really back with the episode that we always start every year with, which is our predictions episode. And I know that there are people out there who are like, why do you guys do it so early?
Yeah.
This is the fun of it. And this is especially this year, like we're going to get so clowned because we know absolutely, like we know nothing. Like,
I know.
Nothing
Even
to
as
go
I was
off
doing
of.
this, I was I'm gaslighting myself.
I know. And I'm like, who the
knows?
heck knows?
Yeah.
So just if you're watching this, if it's your first time watching us do, like if I mean, I'm sure that there's probably some new people. Hopefully there are, because, we need to grow.
Yeah. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. Hannah's goal is 10,000 followers or subscribers. We tried to get that last year. We only got about 1,500 people, but
thanks
we're just
for being here.
Slow and steady wins the race. Mm-hmm. So yeah, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't. But yeah, we do this on purpose. We know it's early, but that's the fun of it. And, it just keeps it fresh and keeps it fun.
Like for anyone in the States who does like the brackets for March Madness, like I'm the kind of person who I don't want to know I feel like the more data I have, almost the harder it is to predict because you're just thinking about too many things. Like I just want to pick based on colors or vibes.
Yes, exactly. And it's also a good way to kick off the new season to kind of talk about what we think might happen and offer predictions and whatnot. Just some quick housekeeping things. I want to say again a massive thank you because the last time we were on here doing the Ford recap, our Daniel interview hadn't aired yet. So just want to say thank you to everyone who watched our Daniel interview. If you haven't, it's on YouTube, so you can go and watch it. Very grateful to all of you for your kind words. Once again, we'll never be able to thank you guys enough. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I was actually like on my phone. It's my phone background, obviously. And I was like, I still can't believe it actually happened.
I know, same.
Like sometimes I feel like it didn't actually happen. It doesn't actually feel real.
Yeah. I was at a work conference last week and some of my coworkers watched Formula One and I was like, guys, did you see what I did? And they didn't because even though they say that they're going to follow me, they don't, which is fine. It's not,
It's totally fine.
But they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's not that I keep forgetting it happened. It's just that it feels still so like fever dream.
Yeah.
That it's a little disconnected,
so
I guess.
My struggle is that, not struggle, that sounds very dramatic, but I will encounter people, like clients of ours or whatever, who they will like F1 will get brought up or something will get brought up about, like if I'm wearing something, maybe they'll be like, oh, F1. And, I never want to be like, yeah, I have. Because, I don't want to be braggadocious. And I don't want to. And I was in a meeting recently with a client and their CEO was in the meeting and he was mentioning something about motorsport for a different reason. And F1 kind of got brought up. And I was like, yeah, I'm a big F1 fan. And, he has no idea. So he's like, oh, so I was, he went to the F1 race in Austin at some point. And I was like, oh, yeah, I never want to be the one-upper.
Sure.
And I also don't want to be like, yeah, I've met, it's like a hard thing for me to, I don't know. It's just one of those awkward things. And then when people find out, they're like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Well, and I also think, and this is, again, not trying to be braggadocious at all, but it's like we have people who listen to our podcast. Like when you say you have a podcast, that has so many connotations.
Yes.
Like, Alex Cooper has a podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
There's many levels.
Us, and then there's like, someone who has like 10 listeners and are like we used to, who are just doing it like our first podcast that was just like, it was fun for us.
Right.
So it's also hard. They're kind of like, oh, cool. And that's really far, which is awesome. Like, I don't need you to care.
No, me neither.
I don't need you to care. Now, see, I will go. They're like, oh, you like F1? I'm like, yeah, I have an F1 podcast in like kind of a funny way with people I know
who knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like if you say you play soccer in England, it's like that could mean
so
Premier League.
much,
You could be playing for Arsenal, or you could be playing like in the lowest division of professional soccer there. And there's many degrees,
right?
And not everyone's going to assume we are not Premier League, I don't think quite yet, but
no, I know we're not there yet.
we're moving our way up, and we're gonna get there someday. We are. We're like trying to get. We're like in the. We're trying to get promoted up to Premier League. I don't know if you're familiar, but like teams
Yeah.
get brought down, brought
I'm
back
aware.
up. We're trying to
Relegated.
Yes, exactly. We're trying to get
Dialed
promoted.
in. I'm an Arsenal fan.
You are. You are. Okay. Well, again, if there are new people listening to this show who don't know anything about us or are newer to our show, I know if you have listened to the show, you're just like, I don't need to hear this for the 1,000th time over again. But I do think because it's a new season, it's important to just give a bit of a refresher for people to know where our allegiances lie, who we root for, our biases, because I do think that dictates how we talk about this sport.
Podcast.
We are a biased podcast. And so can you just share with us it's funny because it's like we made it our entire personality, but can you share with us your favorite F1 driver, maybe top 3 perhaps, and like who you're rooting for teams wise or whatever this season?
Yes, my favorite driver is Max Verstappen. That is the only ranking that's never changed.
Yes.
I would say my other favorite drivers at the moment are, well, I'm really excited that Valtteri's back on the grid. I just love his.
Yeah, you've always been a Valtteri fan.
I have.
Yes.
And I just dig his vibe. So I'm very excited he's back. And I would say Alex Albon.
Yes.
And Oscar.
Yes.
Right now are probably my top 3.
Alex and Oscar, I feel like have solidified themselves within your top 3 pretty consistently over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I would say they're solid locks in top 5.
100%.
Top 3 does rotate quite basically episode by episode.
But who else is a potential in your top
Carlos.
3? Okay.
And
Lando used to be.
Yeah, and it's not that he's not. It's just, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe Charles sometimes.
Okay.
But most of these guys I root for in their own
well,
way.
and also like Kimmy was in your top 3
Yeah.
at one point after
But again, it's also situational. Like Kimmy had a big impact on F1 Miami experience.
He did.
He, sprint. All of his success in the race, and then also we got to see the documentary. He came in, Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr. style. He just had a real impact on me. I bought a hat because of it.
You did.
Influencers exist because people like me exist. I am influenced.
Hannah's
very
easily influenced.
Yeah, but Max I've never wavered from
and
that.
you're a Red Bull fan.
I'm a Red Bull fan.
Would you say any other teams?
Williams. I've been rooting for Williams' return for a really long time.
Yes.
And I feel like it's coming soon.
Well, maybe there's been some shaky ground, but
soon is relative.
Yes, it is. So obvious. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. Again, this might be your first time watching our show. Daniel Ricciardo is the reason that we got into Formula One.
Facts.
He's always my favorite. He will never not be my favorite driver.
Yeah.
That's just like locked and etched in stone.
Yeah.
But on the current
But he drives
grid,
Raptors now.
He drives Raptors now. On this current grid, Charles Leclerc is my favorite F1 driver, followed by Oscar and Lewis. Yuki used to be one of my top favorites. Obviously no longer on the grid. My favorites are dropping like flies, but these 3 are going to hopefully hold out for a little while longer. We'll have to wait and see. But I've been pretty consistent. Like Charles Leclerc has always been like one of my tops from day one. Lewis as well. Oscar, obviously he joined the grid when we were already fans, but he has like cemented himself as one of my favorites. And then I'm a Ferrari fan, unfortunately, because of obviously Charles Leclerc and Lewis. And there's not really another. I like Red Bull, and I find myself being more and more of a Max fan. And so I do find myself kind of rooting for Red Bull as well. I wouldn't say I'm a McLaren fan, but I like I said, I'm an Oscar fan. And that's kind of, and there are teams I enjoy. Like I like a Mercedes vibe. I enjoy that. That's basically where it ends.
That's basically it. I enjoy the vibe of Mercedes and no one else.
Yeah, but I'm open to anyone, and I think we both would say we are driver first fans.
Yes,
we are driver first
100%.
fans. We kind of will go where our favorite drivers go, and that's kind of, and we're also principal fans, I would say as well. Like we are Fred Vasseur fans, we are Toto Wolff fans, we are I think James Vowles fans
For sure.
And that also plays a part as well.
It does.
Okay, well, should we just jump into our predictions and just get the show on the road?
Let's gaslight each other.
Okay. So the predictions this season are going to be quite similar to how we did it last season. Well, really, I think most seasons we do it kind of the same way, but a lot of the stuff that we're going to do is relatively the same to last year. So we're going to begin with predicting the World Drivers' Championship top 3 and also predicting who we think will finish in last place. Now, again, this is very challenging because there's a lot we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know how these engines are going to do. New cars, whole new regulation. Like it is really, everything is up in the air. Who the heck knows what's going to happen? Where should we start? Should we start with last or should we start with?
Yeah, let's start with last.
Okay, let's start with last. Okay. Do you want me to go first or you?
We probably have the same answer, but you can go first.
Oh, really? You think we do?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. So this is going to play into, this will become more of a factor once we rank our constructors standings.
Okay.
But the person that I have that I think is going to finish in last place is Nico Hülkenberg.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Which I know is kind of potentially controversial.
Yeah.
But it's because of where, and we'll get to this, where I think the car is going to be this season. Just a crazy prediction, but I have Nico Hülkenberg finishing last.
Interesting. I have Franco.
Okay. That's not a bad prediction.
No, and it's not as, I mean, you know.
Yeah. We'll also offer some color to this. I think we'll, both of us, when we talk about the ranking, the constructors standings rankings. But okay, so I have Nico, Hannah has Franco.
Yes.
All right, top three.
Now this is where I really am just not confident in these. I know that's the point, but I just, for the listener.
Yeah. Because there's some years
I'm wildly biased and not sure that this is anywhere near what's going to happen.
So I will say that in the last couple years, I've just gone totally off of my hopes and dreams and what I've wanted to see happen. That's done.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
Got to put a little strategy in it.
I am done with that because that has not worked out well for me. So I'm purely going off of just actually who I think is going to finish top three, not off of what I'm hoping will be the top three. So we start with 3 and then work our way up. All right. So my number 3 is Lando.
Okay. My number 3 is Oscar.
Okay. So, and this will kind of come
And I was going
play.
back and forth.
Yeah. I yes. And I definitely think the Lando Oscar battle will be it was obviously great this past year. I think it will continue to be very good. I think it's a flip of a coin, honestly, as to who will be better, Lando or Oscar. I will offer more reasoning for this when I share my 2 and 3.
Okay.
My number 2 is Max Verstappen.
Okay.
Who's your number 2?
Lando.
Okay. Interesting. Again, I'll offer more backstory when we. My number 1, George Russell.
Yeah. So I was going back and forth between putting Lando or George in second. I have Max at first.
Okay.
And
I think that's a totally when in doubt, put Max Verstappen as number 1.
Yeah.
He is the 4-time world champion. He came back from being way, way, way down last season. I think that's a great pick. So can I offer my logic? So we've heard a lot of reports, rumors on the street, word on the street, that the Mercedes power unit, the Mercedes engine is looking like it's going to be the best engine this year.
Yeah.
And so I am basing a lot of my decision making off of who has a Mercedes engine, one, and then who is good at, making a good car, because it's a combination of the two things.
Right.
And I think Mercedes, they had a little bit of a downward, they weren't as great, obviously, in the last 4 or 5 years post Lewis Hamilton winning all those championships. But I just think if they have a fantastic engine, they had the people involved, Toto Wolff is locked in. George Russell had a great season last year, despite obviously not really the car not being amazing. I thought he was really solid.
Yeah.
And I just kind of think this is the George Russell year. Now, I do think we've also heard that Red Bull has maybe found a bit of a loophole with the engine regulations and that it might be a Mercedes Red Bull battle. And I really think it will. I think it will be a Max and George battle. That's just my gut feeling. And if it's Max, I'm not going to be shocked at all. But I'm a little bit more, I'm less likely to bet on the Red Bull Ford thing right now. Yeah. Whereas I feel like Mercedes has proven themselves more recently. So I'm going to go with that.
Fair.
And then Lando being third, McLaren has a Mercedes engine, so I think that will benefit them. But I don't think that, they've had a great car last year, but did they put too many of their eggs in the 2025 basket, and did they focus enough on 2026? We'll have to wait and see, obviously. But listen, would I be shocked if Lando wins? Not at all. Would I be shocked if Oscar wins? Not at all.
Yeah.
Would I be shocked if a Ferrari wins? Probably a little bit, but I would
100%.
be very, very, very happy. Let's just make that clear. Yeah. So that was kind of my thinking. How about you?
Well, I just think I always pick Max.
Yeah.
Because especially after this year, like seeing him like come back in the way he did, and I don't know, that kind of just goes without saying. I really was going back and forth with the George thing because part of me with Lando is he's done it now. There's a lot of pressure, I'm sure, on himself and from others to do it again. That starts to play with his head, plus the fact that like he's getting into a car he's not totally comfortable with. So I wasn't really sure. I still obviously put him at second, and then Oscar, I think just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Not that he couldn't do it, but
Totally.
I was just more unsure. I guess this is the place for hot takes, but like putting George there felt like,
Oh, I know. It's a risk. It's a risk. And I should.
But it's a fun one.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I will say.
I would be so happy for George if he won a championship.
Yes, I would be too. I will say with the Lando thing, I hear what you're saying about him feeling pressure. I also wonder if it's it will have the flip effect where it's just like the weight's off my shoulders.
Like
I did it.
Yeah.
Like, so now
kind of like the first race win.
I feel
effect.
free.
Yeah.
I can just go and race. I don't have this like overwhelming pressure of you have to be, he will and forever be a world drivers champion, and he never has to win another one again to say that he is he has won a championship. So I could see the opposite thing happening for him too. I should just say, like, so obviously number one who I would want to win a championship is Charles Leclerc. Then number two would be Oscar. Three would be Lewis. My fourth pick for who I would want to win is Max, which I know is crazy, but that is what I would, if I was, picking, that is what I would want. The order of what I would want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would prefer Max over George, which I know is kind of maybe a crazy thing to say, but that is how I feel.
It's your truth.
It's my truth. And, now that we've met Max and I've spoken words to him, he's spoken words back to me, we have a new connection now.
Right.
And, that's just how it's going to have to be. So
I will also say on a slight tangent, I am shocked that McLaren has no papaya in their livery.
Oh, that's just for testing, I think. That's not like the official
Got
livery.
Because I was like, you guys have your own shade of orange. How are you not putting that
that's
on the car?
not for the I believe that's what I read. Yeah, we haven't talked about liveries yet.
That's okay. That was the most shocking to me.
Yeah, I like them. Just a quick, bang, bang, bang. I like the Mercedes livery. I like the Audi livery. I know some people think it's like whatever. I like it. Alpine, fine. Haas, fine. I'm trying to think of who else announced their livery. I feel like that might be it so far.
Is Cadillac's just still for? Oh yeah, they're announcing it at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see.
That'll be fun. Their car right now looks cool though.
When this comes out, because this will come out, we're also recording this in advance. This is going to come out the day after the Super Bowl, so you guys will have known it. We'll now see it, but we're recording this early. Anyway, okay, so that is our top three and our last place predictions. Who will be right? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, maybe none of us.
Okay, let's get to constructor standings. Now, this is really like if champion is hard. This is really hard.
Yeah,
this is really hard because, like, it's just so challenging. We have new teams on the grid, brand new engine. Like everyone is starting over, but then you also have new engines coming in. You have teams that are taking new engines. Like there's just a lot. So, I mean, there's a high likelihood we'll look back and have every single one of these things wrong.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But, okay.
Fine by me.
Let's start with 11 because we will have 11 teams on the grid this season.
No, crazy.
Who do you have at 11?
Audi.
I have Audi too, which is like...
I feel like it's a cop-out answer.
It's kind of a cop-out answer. You're right. Because it's like, they weren't that great last year when they were Sauber. Now they're Audi, which is maybe like that should raise their profile, but there's also a brand new engine. They're now going to use an Audi engine. So how's that going to do? It's the unknown, which is why they're at 11. But
yeah, because I think they do. I mean, I know you picked Nico to be dead last, but I do think that if the car is decent, like they have driver talent that could get them points. Yeah, maybe not winning or but so they definitely could be higher. But I don't know.
I mean, and that's the thing. Audi could finish 5th or 6th, and I wouldn't actually be that shocked. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just be nice to us. Okay,
yeah, I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah, oh my God, of course. Yeah. Of course I'm happy to be wrong.
Whatever. You guys know us. I just don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Number 10, who do you have?
Alpine.
Alpine. That's a joke. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's Alpine.
I have V carb, which is a little surprising because again, I'm like, they did pretty well last season. The reason I have V carb is because they're just very young.
Yeah.
And I think Arvid's going to have highs and lows. Liam probably too. And I just worried they're going to like leave some points on the table and they're going to just have those rookie mistakes that cost them points. And then they drop down the leaderboard. And also development wise, you know, it's beneficial to have experienced drivers to help you guide the car. And I wonder if maybe they'll get a little stuck in the mud at certain points because they just don't really know how to like, I don't want to say that they're not going to get great driver feedback. I think they'll get as best as they can, but they're both young, inexperienced drivers. So they don't know as much as like Cadillac people would know or whatever. So you have Alpine because
it just felt obvious. Yeah.
Now I will say about Alpine, and this kind of factored into where I put them, which you'll find out soon. They are switching over to a Mercedes engine this season, which I think, you know, I'll be curious to see how that benefits their car. But yeah, they also haven't. And the whole like speculation is if like Christian Horner is gonna like take some.
I can't go there.
Yeah, it's like not even for me to. I don't care. Okay, number 9.
Sorry.
No, I have Cadillac.
Okay, I have Haas.
Okay, so Cadillac again. It's like uncertainty. I don't really know what's going to happen. Howard Checo and Valtteri, both drivers that weren't on the grid last year, are they going to come back? Will they be rusty? Will they, you know, it'll be interesting to see how they perform. They're going to be using Ferrari engines. So kind of hit or miss. We'll have to see how that goes. I know that was like but because there's some, you know, there's a rivalry forming between Ford and Cadillac. And I saw like Jim Farley talk about like, oh, well, you know, Cadillac's using, like, they're not creating their own engine, but like we are. And Cadillac I think is going to eventually, but they aren't for this next year. But so we'll have to just see if that benefits them or hurts them. I think they'll be good. I just think they'll have some ups and downs. Yeah. And you had Haas because just, again, another Ferrari engine.
Yeah. Yeah, just because of vibes.
Just because of vibes. Okay,
I put virtually no thought into these. By the way, I just had to write them down. I just went with gut instinct.
8, I have Alpine.
Okay, I have Aston Martin.
Oh,
which I know. It is what it is.
Okay.
Because
so you don't believe in Adrian?
It's not that.
Okay,
I believe.
You don't believe in the drivers.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't really know how to say that politely.
No, that's fair.
But I feel like it's not the same as a Red Bull situation by any stretch. The car can only get you to a certain distance.
Sure.
And not that he is not capable of reaching that distance. But I do believe the driver talent is skewed in one direction, and it makes it hard to score a lot of constructors' points.
And yes, it's skewed in one direction. And that one, like, it's still a driver who is going to be like 45, 44. Like, it's, you know, it's not like he's in the prime of his racing career.
Right.
So that'll be interesting to see how
Speaking of One Direction, I do just want to give a quick shout out and congratulate anyone who was able to get Harry Styles tickets. I didn't even try.
There's a lot. He's getting some backlash on the internet.
Why?
Harry Styles. Because
sorry guys,
people
love a tangent.
People also hate some people hate when we bring up pop culture, but that's just that's literally the origin of our show.
Authentic to ourselves.
Because people are upset that he basically, you know, is putting the cost of, like, he's having this 30-night residency and it's making all the fans have to pay extra money. Like, now they're having to be the ones to pay the plane ticket and the hotel to get to him. Like, it's all extra cost. And so the hope was, well, if you're making us pay all this extra money to come see you, that your tickets won't be so expensive. And they're like $1,000 for, like,
face value.
Yes. Like, really expensive. There were some cheaper options, but most of them were very, very expensive. And people were like, I spent way less to go to the Eras tour than to go to this show.
That's crazy.
And so there's some people that
weren't our Eras tour tickets like $300 face value?
Yeah. Yeah. And just and you know, not to like compare and contrast, but like, she was basically putting on 2 shows in one night, you know, like, time wise. So
fascinating.
Anyway, and we didn't pay we just drove down the street and, you know, so
anyway,
I have I'm just saying that's what people are saying online. Okay. Anyway.
Congratulations anyway.
Yes, congratulations. Number 7, who do you have?
Cadillac.
Okay, I have Williams. So Williams, there's a lot of discussion right now that their car is super overweight. They weren't participating in the first handful of days with the shakedown.
Now that's all legitimate, right? Like we don't think there are rumors that have been started to like
no, it's legit.
Fake
it's
people out?
legit.
Okay.
So I am a little bit concerned that Williams is going to start out this season and they're going to not be very good. And I think I'm not even like, I think that's going to happen. I think they will struggle initially. Mm-hmm. Now they have 2 great drivers.
Yeah.
Cannot emphasize
and
that
they're
enough.
using Mercedes engine too?
Yes.
Okay.
Carlos, Alex, fantastic. Love them both. I've said I really like Alex. Alex is in my top 5 too. Just mark that down. So I think they're going to start out not so great. I do have faith they're going to figure some things out, hopefully. And so that's why I have them at 7, but it wouldn't shock me if they're lower than. So I have a hard time imagining them higher than that personally, but I don't know. This is where maybe some of my like Delulu brains coming out. I don't know.
Ditto.
We'll see. Who did you say?
I have Cadillac.
Cadillac.
And that was, for me, it was, yes, it's new, kind of unknown team, but 2 veteran drivers.
Experience.
And so I thought that would be helpful.
Totally. So 6, I have Haas, which I know is like kind of crazy to have them at 6, but there's something also, I think that they're an underrated duo, Esteban and Ollie. Like, I don't think you would think of them as maybe like the best, they wouldn't be top of mind for like the best driver duo, but actually, if you think about it, pretty solid. You have Esteban, who's like very experienced, very solid driver. Ollie is like a great rookie, not anymore, but still young driver. And I don't know. They were performing pretty well last season. Yeah. This is probably my most Delulu pick, but I have them at 6.
Okay. I have Williams at 6.
Okay. I mean, let's hope.
And that's Delulu. I mean, I recognize that they were 5th this year or last year. Sorry.
Yep.
And it probably is Delulu, but I just have faith in James, Alex, and Carlos.
I mean, you can't. You really. It's hard to find a better trio than those 3
seriously
on the grid, and drivers that are in the prime of their career, like right ages. It's just. Come on, Williams.
Carlos just did a video of doing something.
Pilates.
Yes, thank you. I was like, yeah. Yeah, that was excellent.
So 5, I have Aston Martin. Now, the reason I have Aston Martin at 5 is because of Adrian Newey and Honda. Honda was obviously really, really good with Red Bull those last handful of years, won them a number of championships. So I have faith that they will be successful with Aston Martin. Adrian Newey, the GOAT, he can make a very fast car. Fernando Alonso, another GOAT, 2-time World Drivers Champion.
Plus, it might be his last, lap.
It might be. Yep. You do have Lance Stroll, not a terrible driver, not a great driver. So, this is one where it's like, I don't know. I'm banking a lot on the creation of the car.
Yeah, sure.
For this positioning.
That's fair. This is wildly incorrect, and I'm not sure why I put them here. But curious. I have V-carb.
Oh, okay. No, but see, if the Ford Red Bull engine is really good, like
that's fair.
If that's to be believed, then there is a potential that
but that does
happen.
feel like the most wrong one.
Sure, yeah, that is Delulu, and like maybe Arvid is just gonna like light it up, and Liam's gonna be fantastic, and maybe they'll be 5th. Anything is possible. Again, emphasize on that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is maybe what we'll start to
align,
match up. Number 4, I have Ferrari, which is just
devastating.
I really,
and God forbid they're lower than this.
I mean, yeah. God, please no. I just talk about a trio. Like Fred, Lewis, and Charles Leclerc are literally the only people I'm rooting for at Ferrari. Like I need them to get it together. I really, really do. And people have talked about this. If Ferrari is 4th and they don't have a great car and things are bad, will Charles Leclerc leave after this? Like, will he look elsewhere?
Maybe. But
be curious where he would go. But he does have so much cachet. Like
of course.
He could. But yeah, would he go? I mean, they wouldn't replace him at McLaren.
Also, this feels like a weird year to decide to change teams because everyone, I mean, unless there's like a very clear standout where there's an opportunity for him to move into, it's still kind of a risk until I feel like they get a second year of this car.
Maybe if Mercedes is really good, he could kick out Kimi and take Kimi.
But I don't think that's who he would remove. Kimi's his Max Verstappen. Like
I know, but I'm saying, like, let's say George wins the championship. They're not going to replace George with Charles Leclerc. You know, like
totally.
But anyway, I'm curious to see how that shakes out. Ferrari, please get it together. I've never been in this position in sports, like as a sports fan. I brought this up when we did our Friends podcast, the Underground podcast. Ferrari is the Dallas Cowboys of Formula One, just like delusional fans. I am one of those people who just constantly believe this is our year, this is our year, this is our year.
And 1 year
has all this
will be.
all this history, all this fanfare. You know, Dallas Cowboys was America's team. Ferrari is like F1's team, basically. And yet, what do you have to show for it? Nothing. And or at least not for a very long time. And I don't like rooting for these types of organizations. Like, this is not
frustrating.
This is opposite to like what I stand for.
Yeah. Which is, you know, just goes to show we are in fact driver first fans.
Yeah. And I do love, like, I think Ferrari is so cool, and I really appreciate the history and the vibes and all the things, but you know, the Tifosi, everything, I just need them to show me something. Yeah. You know? So there we are.
And you know, Fred has such mob boss energy. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and I recognize it goes further up the food chain. You know, it's the classic thing in, again, like with the Dallas Cowboys or any other sports organization. It's like, you can keep on recycling your coach, you can keep on trying to make a change there, but
there's a problem that you haven't fixed.
Yes, there's a problem up at the top, and that's why, you know, it's like, be a serious organization and stop thinking everybody else is the problem.
Retweet.
So that's where I stand on that. Okay, 3.
Now I have Mercedes, which I think is probably wrong.
Okay, I have Red Bull.
Yeah, in hindsight, after our discussion,
you can change it if you want.
I'm not going to change it.
Okay.
It's more fun if we have different answers.
Totally.
But I think I would have put Red Bull there.
Yeah. So again, Max Verstappen could carry the team on his back and lead them all the way. And I think Isaac will be good this season. I think he will. I do think he will be good. I think he will be. I said this again on the other podcast. I think he will be the best teammate that Max has had since Daniel Ricciardo. I would even go so far, maybe not so much this year, but like, I think he will be more competitive with Max than Daniel was competitive with Max.
Probably.
Which is, you know, that's a big thing for me to say.
That is big.
But
Congratulations.
It's not like I think Max is going to carry the team, like only carry the points, but I just think the Mercedes engine might be a step above and just might be a little bit better. And again, Isaac's still very, like, Mercedes, I guess they do have a young driver too, but
also, like, if their engine's as good as it's supposed to be, Kimi,
it makes up the difference.
Kimi's more consistent, that makes up the difference. And then Lando and Oscar are always, for the most part, neck and neck. It's hard to.
Kimi had the year with Mercedes last year. This is Isaac's first year with Red Bull. Like, it is a different experience for him. And I think Isaac will have, you know, he's a bit of he can kind of be up and down at times. So I think he might have some moments where he's a little, like, he makes rookie-ish errors and like makes mistakes, which is fine. Like, that's going to happen.
I just hope he doesn't DNF in Australia.
God willing. Number 2.
I had Red Bull.
Okay, I have McLaren here, which is maybe a little like, this is where it's a little dicey, because I do believe that Oscar and Lando are a better duo than George and Kimi. So maybe I should have put McLaren at 1, but I don't know. I just think that Mercedes, I'm putting all my chips in the Mercedes.
Your eggs in the Mercedes basket.
Exactly. So yeah, so I have Merc at 1. You have McLaren at 1. I think that is who I think will be the top, like, fighting it out. Yeah. Consistently over the course of the season.
It will be really interesting if, like, it becomes a Max George battle.
Oh, I pray that it becomes Max and George. Like, that is what we need. That is what this, like, life, the world is in complete and utter shambles right now. And we need the Max and George battle, because it will feed families. Like, it will feed families. I will be sitting on the edge of my seat because the reality is again, I would be rooting for Max, but I don't really have a dog in the fight. Like I'm not really, so I would just be waiting for the entertainment value. And
and I'm in the sense of like, obviously I love Max. I want him to win, but I also would be so happy for George to win his first championship. So again, it's like, yes, I would be rooting for Max more, but yeah, I would be so.
It would be fantastic. I mean, it would potentially have the ability to rival. We weren't fans at the time, but I think it would rival the Lewis Nico battle.
Yeah, and I also am just thinking about
it's very heated rivalry.
Well, and just the reactions we could be getting from Toto.
Oh,
because Laurent's just the most even-keeled man. Toto isn't, and so
no, Toto is not. But Toto also loves Max. Like,
I know
he does love Max.
Yeah, I know he does, but he's also had frustrations with Max before.
Yeah,
and he might throw his headphones around.
Oh, because we've gotten kind of chill Toto recently. He hasn't really.
Yeah, that's because there's been nothing to fight for, really.
Yeah. I think he said he went to anger management class.
Did
he? I think he was joking, but yeah, he hasn't been in the fight, so to speak. So yeah, that would be interesting.
It also helps that his nemesis isn't around anymore.
Christian, that would have been like over the edge.
Well, yeah, because Christian would have just poured gasoline over the whole fire.
If it was Max and George versus Max and George, and then also Toto versus Christian, it would be too much for any of us to handle.
No,
There's
that
no
would
way.
Families would implode if that happened. We're just looking to get them fed.
Yeah, exactly. Because George is going to bait Max in a way that Lewis never was going to bait Max.
No.
Like Max
and then George will pretend he didn't.
Max and Lewis obviously had their battle, and there was definitely it was tense, but between them certainly. But there's a different energy,
Champions have a different energy towards each other.
There's a different energy between Max and George. There just always will be.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is the. I've seen many edits of Max and George to Loathing from What Is This Feeling from Wicked.
Yeah.
And I mean, George is so like he is Glinda.
Yeah.
And Max is so Elphaba.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yes.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want here? Just go down your list 1 through 10, just so that everyone knows you're
1 through 11.
Oh, sorry, 1 through 11. I'm sorry.
McLaren, Red Bull, Merc, Ferrari, V-Carb, Williams, Cadillac, Aston Martin, Haas, Alpine, and Audi.
Okay. So at 1, I have Merc, 2 McLaren, 3 Red Bull, 4 Ferrari, 5 Aston, 6 Haas, 7 Williams, 8 Alpine, 9 Cadillac, 10 V-Carb, and 11 Audi.
May the best
We're
win.
gonna. This is gonna be all torn to shreds, but I'm excited to find out. Mm-hmm. Okay, this one might be a little bit easier.
Very.
Teammate predictions. I think we probably will have many the same, but we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we pick between the teammates who is going to come out on top. Max versus Isaac.
Max.
We both have Max, though. Again, I do believe Isaac's going to put up a solid fight.
Sure.
Charles Leclerc versus Lewis Hamilton.
Charles Leclerc.
I have Charles Leclerc. I do think Lewis will rebound.
Yeah.
This season, I think he will. I do think it will be closer, but I believe it will be Charles Leclerc. Kimmy versus George.
But I think it'll be closer.
I think it will be closer too, and I think Kimmy will take that next step in his trajectory. Franco and Pierre. Lando and Oscar.
Now I have Oscar. I do think this one's more wishful thinking than reality. Oh, I mean, it's definitely possible.
It's and really last season you could say like
it was pretty neck and neck.
And Oscar, it kind of let it slip out of his fingers. He maybe should have had. He maybe should have won that. I mean, Lando was very deserving, and obviously he performed better, so he got it. And Oscar kind of crumbled in a way, but for a large part of that season, it was like, oh, Oscar's going to get this.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't think it's that crazy. I have Lando, but I wouldn't be. I think it's like very, very close, like 50% one, or 51%, 49% or something.
Yeah.
Lance versus Fernando.
I
have Fernando as well. I would be flabbergasted, shocked.
Yeah.
If Lance.
And so happy for our friend Emma.
Yeah. That's about it. Nico versus Gabby.
I picked Gabby.
I picked Gabby too. Gabby was like. Gabby was actually kind of beating Nico pretty consistently over the course of the season last year. Nico obviously got the podium, but Gabby was a rookie. I think Gabby is gonna he's gonna kind of crush Nico. Though I don't know how many points they're gonna score, so like it might not actually seem that way in the points. Sure. But I think Gabby will like perform consistently better. Mm-hmm. Liam versus Arvid.
I said Liam, but I do think it could go either way.
Okay,
so Liam has the experience.
So I picked Arvid just because I don't really know why. I think he just has a bit more potential in him, but I think you picked the more like safe, sure bet of picking Liam,
But
because
maybe not.
well, I mean, if you think about it, this is kind of Liam's 4th season in F1, because he raced like 2 seasons as a replacement, and then he had his first full season, and now, so he really has had the experience. He needs to.
He also hasn't had any big like upset in between seasons, which I feel like is the first time in a while that there hasn't.
Exactly. He can actually participate in testing for the team he's going to actually race for, and he will have some consistency to his like run, as opposed to last year when it was just all like his confidence was all over the place and whatever. So I think you probably have the more like sure bet. I'm picking more of the like risky bet, but
well, also
I think it will be close.
You talked to him a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Makes sense.
Esteban versus Ollie.
I picked
Ollie as well. Alex versus Carlos.
I picked Carlos, but I think it could be close.
I picked Carlos too, but I think it will be close.
If I'm honest, I'd prefer it to Alex.
Me as well.
Just trying to earn some points.
Me as well. Yeah. And then Checo versus Valtteri.
I had a hard time with this one.
It's hard. It's really hard.
I picked Checo.
I picked Checo too.
He's really got something to prove to all these people on track.
Yes.
Because he was let go in the like craziest way.
Yes.
And I feel like Valtteri, it was just, I don't know, it's just different.
Yes, I totally, because Valtteri, it's like that when he was with Stake, Sauber, whatever, they were a great team, and they just kind of like moved on from him. But Checo was fired. I mean, Checo was replaced after he had already signed a contract. Like, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
The reason I picked Checo is because I think Checo, obviously for most of his career, he was a midfield driver with a midfield car, and he was very good in those types of cars, whereas Valtteri for a majority of his career was with like a top car in Mercedes. And so part of me thinks that Checo is maybe better at like getting more out of less. I'm excited for Checo. I'm actually really looking forward to him being back on the grid, just because for like the vibes and just the like,
I forgot how sassy he is.
Just the lore, like it's just funny.
And they're a fun. Like, I think their duo will be good.
Like old man duo. Basically like our age, but
Checo's our age.
Well, like I mean, they're like in their mid-30s.
It's wild.
I will say, so when Checo crashed in Monaco, I guess it was his last season with Red Bull, he said, "What a joke" on the radio, and it's become a part of my family's like vernacular. Like, we'll like say it about just if something happens in life, it's just like, oh, what a joke. So, and we should just also, for those who don't know, we have many nicknames for Checo. He is Clackers. He's also Chenko. We can explain those at a different time, but just if we ever refer to Checo as Clackers or Chenko, just know we're not doing it because we don't know his name. We're doing it because he's like, it's part of our lore. Okay, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing how that all shakes out. Okay, so now we're going to get to the fun predictions, where we just kind of predict random things that might happen throughout the course of the season. The first team that we think is going to DNF.
I picked Haas. I don't really know.
I think that's a great pick.
Thank you.
I picked Alpine.
Okay, also a great pick.
I just think, I also think...
And, it could be...
It could be on the formation lap.
Could be,
as we saw last year. I think also you want to kind of pick a team that you think is going to be starting maybe like P14, 13, like somewhere in that mix, where they're going to be at the first like lap. They're going to be in some chaos. They're going to be involved in some, mess, shall we say.
Back of the grid chaos.
Oh shit, someone clipped my back.
Spun out.
Yes, exactly. And I'm out, Do you want to predict which of the drivers you think will be the one to DNF?
Esteban.
Okay, Esteban. See,
now in fairness, it probably will be Ollie, because if it is Haas, because he's a little bit more
risque,
aggressive. Risque is good.
See, I was gonna say too, like, I think if I picked Alpine, you would think, oh, she's gonna say Franco, but actually, I'm gonna say Pierre.
Yeah, sure.
Pierre Gasly first to DNF, and you say...
I mean, at this point, I just feel like he has nothing to lose, Yeah, he's just trying to do anything.
Exactly. Okay, how many teams will win a race this year?
I said 6, which I know is high, but I was kind of thinking that with all the new stuff, it gives a little, not really an even playing field. I would never presume that that's what's going to happen, but potentially more opportunity for more teams.
It could go one of two ways. It could either be like it could be kind
two teams win.
Right. It could be like, oh, these two teams are clearly the best, and every other team is struggling very hard, or it could be, wow, there's actually a lot of teams that are doing super well and it's very mixed up. So it could go either way. I said 4 because I'm kind of banking on my top 4 teams
each winning,
getting
one.
a win, you know, and
it would be great if Ferrari got a win.
From your lips. I am just, please, Jason. How many drivers will get at least 1 podium this year? Why did you done?
I think I said 6 as well, but I think it was because we'll just go with 6.
Okay.
It's way too many.
No, that's not very many at all. Because you're basically counting on.
Right.
So I said 10 because I'm kind of thinking like each of the, again, this is hope, each of the top or each of the 2 on the top 4 teams, I think will get a podium at least once. And then I'm banking on maybe you're getting a surprise podium, a couple of surprise podiums, like from an Aston Martin or from a whoever. So
all right, I'm gonna change it to 7.
Okay, 7. Which driver will have the lowest damage cost?
I don't know. I just put Pierre because he did it before.
I said George because my thinking is if he is the best driver, if he has the best car, and if he's just sailing out in P1, he's avoiding all sorts of chows, as my dad says, for chaos.
I was trying to figure out what word that was supposed to be. Chaos.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Okay. Which team will be the first to win multiple races?
I said Red Bull, but I don't know if that's right.
I would love for Isaac.
I know.
Or I guess, okay.
But
I guess you said Max twice.
Max would win twice. It was my thought.
Okay, so I said McLaren just because I think you have better chances with Lando and Oscar to get like more chances to get more wins. But again, I mean, anything is possible. Okay, at what race will the championship be decided?
I said Vegas.
Okay, I think that's like solid. Again, because I'm just banking on this Merc being really dominant.
Like a Red Bull era situation.
I said Brazil because I just thought
Interlagos?
I said Interlagos because it's going to be not as early as it has been in the past for some of Max's races, but it's going to be earlier than I think it has, like, than it was, let's say, for last year. I mean, Brazil and Vegas are back, like those are 2 races back to back. So we're in the same ballpark. Yeah. We're saying November, we think this is going to be decided.
Which would be great because that means it's a fairly competitive
season. Again, our hope and dream, Abu Dhabi, unless it's a driver that I want to win the championship and then I want it to be over in like
as
Austin.
Soon as possible to make sure it's locked in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Okay. I guess this is kind of, we already kind of said this, but of all the engine providers in F1, Mercedes, Ford, Honda, Ferrari, Audi, which one will struggle the most?
Ferrari.
Oh, you said Ferrari. I said Audi.
That's fair, but I just know more about Ferrari.
Yeah. Okay. I guess this is like a hard one for us to fully I guess it kind of depends on who finishes last or like which teams DNF the most or something. If there's engine combustion, I don't know.
I have a lot of faith in my Ford team.
Yeah. Let's hope. Okay. Let's do some yes/no predictions and then we'll wrap this sucker up. So, will someone be replaced mid-season?
This is not an answer probably that you'll accept. I said, if my prediction is that if anyone's replacement season, it would be Franco, but I don't necessarily think that he will be.
So you're saying no?
But yeah, I guess I'm saying no.
I'm also saying no. I don't think anyone will. Okay. Will someone get their first win this season?
I said Kimi, but I hope it's Alex. But I do think that Kimi will get his first win this season.
So I said yes, and I think it's going to be Isaac and Kimi. I think they're both going to get their first wins.
That'd be lovely.
I would love that. Okay. Will someone get their first podium?
I think Ollie will get on the podium.
Wow. That would be awesome. Yeah. That would be great. I said no.
Now, is this race podium, sprint podium? Is it podium in general?
Question.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about it when I answered the question.
I was just going off of the race.
Okay,
I was just going off the official race.
My answer doesn't change. I was just curious.
Okay, so this one's a little more ambiguous. I can explain kind of what I'm thinking. Will Max and George have a big fight? Now, what I mean by big fight is not just like a little squabble on the radio. I'm talking like Princess George level. I'm talking when Max rammed into George and hit him. Like it is a storyline. Like, oh, Max and George had this dust up in whatever race. Do we think it's going to happen?
Well, now I originally put no, but based on the conversation we've had, and I don't think I really put enough emphasis on the potential of the Merc this year.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah, I'm saying yes, 100%. And honestly, it could happen like race 2. Anything is possible.
I think it'd be so fun.
I hope we have multiple. I hope we get our version of just an incident on the race, but like, you know, different. Because listen, Charles and Max had their beef when they were growing up, but that is not that. Who cares?
Dusted.
It is the Max and George battle now. Yeah. That's what I care about. And George would be the one to be like, it's just an incident on the race. Totally. Yeah, he's gonna be the one that's kind of more just like trying to be cool, calm, and collected, and Max will be the one that's a little bit more, as he has been in their situations in the past. Like he's more of the instigator, or not the instigator, but
I will say I think that Max is aggressive on track, and George is petty with his words. George is very
petty with his words,
which is causes its own reaction.
He is,
and I'm not justifying either one. I'm just saying I think it comes out in different ways.
It does come out in different ways. You're right,
and. Like George is just going to be yapping in the media pen, and Max is just going to be like, "Yeah."
The thing with the thing with Max will yap because Max was like after whenever that was in Baku, Max was the one that went up to George or called him Princess George.
Oh, sure.
You know, George has this sort of. He doesn't. He likes to pretend like he's not in. Like he's high.
He's above it.
He's above it. Yes, and he'll say things, but.
He's really because he's saying it, you're not above it.
Yes, exactly. Whereas Max is he's gonna say it, but he's gonna say it to you straight. Like he's gonna be really honest and direct with you. And George is gonna pretend like I don't know. They're just two different. They're like
wildly
different guys from different. You know, they handle their business very differently.
Yes, they do.
So that makes for great entertainment for us.
Yeah.
Okay. Will someone get banned for a race after accumulating too many penalty points?
So I have my answer, but I did have a quick question. Yeah. Do their penalty points from other series carry over?
Not other series.
Okay.
I don't actually, that's a good question. I don't believe so.
Okay. So my answer,
I think it's just F1.
As I said, because Ollie right now has 10, but some of them came from F2. But it says they don't expire until May.
So maybe they do carry over. That's a good question. Let us know in the comments.
Yes, Ollie, because he has 10. Yeah. 9 or 10. It was weird. The website I was looking at, it said 10 in like the headline, and then in the description of Ollie, it went on to say he has 9. But the first 2 points in what he has right now don't expire until May
Is it Miami
23rd, 2026.
Okay, so
very specific. So it's after Miami.
Yeah, so it's after, because the way that it works is like if you got a penalty in Barcelona, say, like, and you get 2 points on your license, then they don't expire until Barcelona of the next year. And then they drop. And then, so yeah, I mean, and basically any sort of incident that typically any incident that warrants a penalty, like a 10-second penalty, you usually get 2 points on your license.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he really is sitting at 10, he has one incident in and then him between the beginning of the season and May, which feels very likely that he will get a race ban.
Yeah. He could be Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah. If that's true that
I said no, just because I don't think the FIA wants people to get banned. And so they might, be a little loosey-goosey with him. And I don't want him to get banned either.
Of course not.
But it wouldn't shock me. Let's just say that. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
Okay, those are our predictions. I feel pretty good about them.
I feel, whatever.
I mean,
it'll be what it'll be.
It'll be what it'll be. And listen, it's just, after years of turmoil, I'm speaking for myself as a fan, and just like emotional whatever, I'm just going into this season wanting it to be fun and entertaining. Like,
absolutely.
I'm just wanting to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And have a good time and not feel too depressed. That's my bar.
Yeah. I do hope you're able to keep that momentum.
Yeah. I mean, now that we've talked to Daniel, it's like everything's gravy.
Everything's fine.
It's everything's just bonus extra. Like,
and hopefully this season brings more interactions with Daniel.
Exactly. Actually, my dad I was talking to him before we came down to record, and he backs my dream of flying to wherever. Yeah. And I said, even if I went to, if I had to pay to like go to Australia, he goes, yeah, it would be great for your professional career.
To be fair, I don't know why I said no. If we got the opportunity to go to Australia, like, yeah, I'm obviously going to do that. Like, I don't know what I was saying.
No, it's okay. No. It's, listen,
but I also know that in the moment, if it happened, what would I do? Say no?
So you can go by yourself.
No chance.
So yeah, we'll just keep putting those vibes out there and hope for, a great 1 hour conversation or 30 minutes. We'll take whatever.
Or even just a chill hang. If we're invited to an event or something and he's just there and we could just chit chat, chop it up.
It doesn't have to be recorded for the masses, just in our own brains.
Yeah, which that's overwhelming to think about.
Lock it in.
Non-prepped questions. What do I do with that? If I could finally ask him if he was a, Naley or
One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's very capable of creating conversation. Like he's not
100%.
short.
I'm not worried about it. It's just
chatting with people.
Daunting.
Just one thing before we wrap it up. So I know I mentioned this. If you follow us on Instagram, I mentioned this on Instagram. But just a bit of a scheduling change for this upcoming season. We are not committing ourselves to doing one episode a week this season.
Mm-hmm.
We just had to make some changes to our schedule for this year because I feel like we say this all the time, like we have jobs, and like that sounds like kind of annoying, but it is true.
Yeah.
Like we have, other responsibilities. This is not our job. This is very much our side hobby that we love doing, and it's great, but it is time consuming. It does take a lot of effort, a lot of work, and we also want to make sure that when we do it,
we're excited about it.
It's good quality, that we can provide you guys with like a good episode, and we're not just scrambling last minute to put something together. I haven't been able to do as much of like the social media stuff and creating this like social clips of the episode as I want to be like in the past, just because I didn't have the time to do it. And also you travel so much for work. It was hard scheduling wise to actually get time to sit down and record the episodes. And so we just were like, in order for us to do this as long as we want to do it for, we felt like we needed to make some changes, focus on quality over quantity. Now we are committing ourselves to doing every race recap. Again, there might be some races where Hannah's out of town or I'm out of town and we get a guest or something, but we will be doing, again, barring any situations, doing every single race recap. And I think, and I hope that I think most people agree with this, that the race recaps are the most those are the data that shows people care that those are the
episodes that people pay the most attention to.
Yes, exactly. So we will still be doing all 24 races, getting those recaps. I still think, I assume we'll probably do an episode in a couple of weeks about testing and kind of gearing up for the next, for the first race. Maybe we'll do a DTS recap, and I know people like when we did the beige flags, F1 driver beige flags, or why you should root for every F1 driver, or who's most likely to, those fun episodes that we like doing. Like, I'm sure we'll sprinkle those out throughout the course of the season. We just won't be guaranteeing that you get an episode every week.
Yeah. It's for our sanity. And this is by no means like we weren't having like a terrible time doing the podcast last year. It's just, we want to make sure that it's sustainable so that we can keep going. And that is we're basically cutting, if you think about it, like our episodes almost in half.
Yeah, and I would say I think we didn't do an episode every week last year, but we did a lot of episodes. If I had to guess, I would guess we would do somewhere in the 30 range of episodes, 34, 35, something like that. Like if there's 24 races and we're doing this episode, that's already 25. I think we will still do, a handful more throughout the season. And there's always like news, like there's things that happen. We want to talk about it. We have fun doing the episode, but we want to make sure that when we do it, it's actually like, okay, there's stuff to talk about.
It's not a forced.
It's not a filler episode where we feel like we're just doing it just to do it. Yeah. So, so if you want to stay updated with like when we're going to drop episodes, obviously follow us on Instagram. I think I'll try my best to like let you know if an episode's coming up or we're going to drop one, or if we need, questions or whatever. Or you can just be surprised when they drop on YouTube or Apple, Spotify, whatever. But I know there, I'm sure that there's some people who are going to be you could be bummed about it, or just, you enjoy want to listen every week, and we're so grateful that you do. But we hope that you understand where we're coming from and get like that we just have to make this change, because this is our 4th year as an F1 podcast. This is our 5th year as a podcast. Like that's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
This is our 5th year as an F1 fan, which is crazy to think. It's been weird. 5 years, or 5 seasons, I should say, that we've been fans. It feels like just yesterday I turned on DTS. and our life was changed and turned upside
quite literally
down. Like, what a time. And here we are now. Like, who would have ever thought?
Not me. When I first met the car mechanic on television, I didn't think I'd be meeting him in real life.
I didn't either.
But are we blessed.
We are blessed. We are blessed. We didn't think we'd meet him in the situation that we met him in. Like, life works in mysterious ways.
Chinese farmer, man.
That's another saying that we'll fill you guys in on someday. If
we should put a glossary out.
Yeah, we should put like
in our bio.
terms of fan behavior, like things we say, so you don't get lost and confused. So with that, I don't know exactly when we will be back. Hannah's traveling for the next week or so, and lots of stuff happening, but I do think we'll be back before the season begins with an episode, and DTS comes out. I think you're going to be in somewhere.
It comes out the 27th?
Yeah.
I'll be home by then.
Oh, you will?
Yes.
Okay. So we will,
I think.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out, and there'll be new episodes. But March 6th, I guess that's the beginning of the F1 season, and that is the same day as Harry Styles' album comes out. Harry Styles drops an album the day that the Australian GP weekend begins.
Doesn't feel like an accident.
So what a great weekend for all involved. There's going to be many Harry Styles content things coming out from F1 teams that weekend. So, brace yourselves for that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again for listening, for watching. We're so grateful to you all. Appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, comment,
send to your friends,
review. Offer your predictions in the comments. I'd love to know who you guys think is going to win the championship or who's going to be last. Share them with us. And we'll see you guys next time. Enchante.